Welcome to the Tarin It Up podcast. I'm your host, Tarin. We'll be tearing it up, tearing it down, and tearing it apart, dissecting all things related to those who deviate from the standard. From leaders of their industry to leaders of mediocrity, and maybe a gear review or two thrown in. We shoot the shit and let the conversations flow, so if that's not your style, this may not be for you. Otherwise, listen in. Hope to light a fire in you somehow. Hola, hola, universe,
Hola.
the big, wide universe, the ether of the internet. I just tried to turn sounds off, and then, I don't know if you heard him, but I'm like, I don't get it. Why, when I put this thing on Do Not Disturb, do fucking sounds come? I don't know.
That's the universe for you, Cookie.
So weird. Anyways, so by the time you'll all be hearing this, it'll be Thursday. You'll almost be done with your week, and that will be great. But right now, it's Monday, and I'm feeling super Monday. I look like a Monday. Amber looks like she's a Friday.
Yeah, I'm here.
I
think I'm wearing pajamas, but it might be a dress.
It looks like a dress to me.
Okay,
You
great,
look 180 degrees different than I, so it looks like you're ready to see people. I look like it's the middle of fucking winter, but it's August 21st. But it got cold here. Well, I can't say that. I hate when I see people in like the 60s dressed like it's 40 degrees. But it did drop into the 60s and below. It's been cloudy, it's rainy, and then I've just been sitting on my ass all day working, so I just get cold when I'm not
moving your body.
Yeah. It was kind of cold this morning when I woke up, and I just never really warmed back up. So I have a softball game tonight too. It's like I'm gonna have to go take like a hot shower before or something, go run around the block a few times to make sure I'm warmed up. But
do some push-ups. That's what I was doing when I was working in the desk.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Push-ups every hour. As much as I could. Like, I wasn't super strict about it, but like we would do them and it helped.
Yeah, I intended on taking a lunch break and doing a little boxing, but I didn't because the day just fucking flies by. I realized it's 1:00 and I was like, oh my God, and I have a call at 2:00. And then once we hop off here, I have, stuff to tend to still before the game, then probably after the game. So, I have a little bit of an agenda, and it's mostly number one is, how are you?
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh my God.
How are you? It feels like we haven't had a one-on-one in a while. It's been a few weeks, I think. So yeah, what's going on?
Well, it was a lovely Monday. It was pretty chill. I got accepted to college.
What?
Yes, I applied to my old school for the bachelor's program in the environmental science department.
So Clover Park?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I just started doing this bachelor's program, and I really liked my professors. They were chill. Like, they got my weird. They understood my weirdness. Like, that's very important, I think, when people get you're weird and are like, okay, you're just weird. Yes, I am. And yeah, so I think I'm going to do that. I still need to figure out how to get it paid for. But yeah, I'm good. I'm all over the freaking place right now. It's just summer madness, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
All of it while it's here, but I'm good, I think. I think I'm good. I just feel like I'm crazy all over the place trying to like not be poor anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And like just trying to find my spot and place in this world. And yeah, it's a wild ride when you go outside of your comfort zone and you're there for years.
Yeah. So that's a perfect segue into something else that was on my agenda.
Perfect.
Which was trying not to be poor. And so really how that segues into, I
don't know how else to say it.
No, I love it. Because I was thinking, I had these same thoughts today and for me it came in the form of like trying to figure out how to balance like not getting burned out all the time or going through these phases. Because I know when we had Julia on and had our expert Julia Arndt about burnout. I learned a lot. We talked about it. I know that I can tend to be that person who burns out easily because I take on a lot.
Yeah.
And I was thinking today, because I'm like, okay, I'm not letting myself get to that. I'm not saying I'm burnt out right now or anything, but I was like, oh, I could be on the path because I really got to figure out how to find a balance of not doing too much because I go from just 0 to 60 and back where when I have time, when things are organized and I'm feeling good and things are in
Yep.
place, I'm like, oh, I have time, I can add this or that. And then I take on these things and everything's good for a while. And then all of a sudden it's like, it's a lot. And I'm like, fuck, how do I stop doing this?
Yeah.
How do I stop getting in this position? And I think, again, where I'm at, I do have enough control over the situations that I think I can, turn it back down and arrange my life to fit it all in. But I don't know. I think today just hit me for some reason. Like yesterday, the weekend was great. Saturday, I did a really long bike ride, long for me. I've never done a ride over 20 miles. So I did like a 30-mile ride. Yeah, it was really great. Took longer than I
Yes.
expected. And then we had a little barbecue with the wrestling board members. And then yesterday the weather was kind of cruddy, so it was perfect. I did like house stuff. Like went to the
Yeah.
grocery store, cleaned, had the house to myself, listened to podcasts all day long while I
Mm.
cleaned, and then I read like 200 pages of a book. And it
Damn, sister.
yeah, it was great and lovely.
Fast
And
reader.
we went for a walk because I got my 10,000 steps in. So it was a productive day, but
On
also like
top of it.
leisure, relaxing. But then it just felt like even going to bed last night, I had this anxiety, like, yeah, but fuck, tomorrow it's like on. And so like I woke up to some, not woke up, but started the work day with some messages and emails and stuff where it was just like, oh fuck. Just felt like everything got turned on, like every switch just got
Mhm.
turned on. And again, there are things that I can control, and that's what we've talked about of our own expectations on us, not the expectations of others. So just keeping that in mind to reel in those crazy, anxious thoughts that, like, okay, you know, this person and that person doesn't know I'm getting 5 messages from this person and that person, and
Yeah.
nothing is really emergent or immediate or anything, but yeah, just was really trying to not get in
Overwhelmed.
yeah in a pit of overwhelm today that
Mhm.
might lead into just disaster tomorrow too.
Yeah.
But all of
And
it
it's
stems from just wanting to be at a place in life that I don't feel like I have to say yes to things because of the financial opportunity that comes from it. And
yes.
there's a lot of things I want to do and I say yes to because I want to do them, good opportunities, good networking, whatever it is, like especially with the podcast or, my business or other things. But it is hard not to say yes to things where there will be financial gain when it also matches things that I want to do and things I'm passionate about.
Girl, you hitting
Um,
it. You hitting it right now. I feel
yeah,
the exact same way about the news I just told you.
yeah. So it's like, what the hell? But
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm 35. I just want to not be in a position that I seem or feel like I can never get out of. And what are these trends and why are they happening and how do I fix it?
Yeah.
Um, and it's all learned behaviors that can be unlearned and stuff. But man, there's just a lot that goes into it, and it all takes time to get out of when you get into a hole of whatever kind of hole it is, whether it's financial or not, or mood, depression, things like that. Like it takes time to come
Yeah.
out and see the light, and it's really hard to remember that it takes time because you just want to be out of whatever
Yeah.
situation. um so yeah, I feel high strung in my body, but like my body doesn't want to do anything. Like I wish I wanted to go
Ride your bike.
Peloton, yeah,
Yeah.
do something to get the energy out, but I'm like, I don't have the fucking time today to
Yeah.
do that. I
Not
would have done
today.
it first thing this morning, but sometimes if I do it first thing in the morning, then I'm already like revved up, got the adrenaline from working out, then it just goes into the work day. It doesn't like get rid of the feelings. So sometimes for me, what I really have to do when I feel all this pent up energy and anxiety inside is to like make myself sit and be like, no,
Yeah.
deal with it, let it unwind. Like,
Yep.
but
Oh, that is a great topic of conversation because I was like, okay, Amber, just because you got accepted to school doesn't mean you have to go this quarter because I just feel like my life is so up in the air, but it just feels and seems so right and exciting and you just got to kind of like weigh your options and like with the feeling anxious in your body, like yes, obviously move, but
Mhm.
when you're feeling that way, it's also hard to be like, okay, I'm going to sit here and like take some deep breaths and like do that Zen thing where like I calm my body and mind down. But like, does that actually really work
Yeah.
when you're feeling that way? Like,
Well,
does that
if you can
work for
truly
you?
well, wait, so are you asking for me personally?
Just in general,
Oh,
like
in
all
general,
person.
the idea, yes, it is because it calms like your sympathetic nervous system. Like it really because like you have your fight or flight, you know. So when you get all that anxious energy and all that, that's your flight mode, right? And or fight, whatever one of flight. It's the one that's like revved up. You're ready to just go.
Yeah, that
Um
would be flight. That'd be like, get me the fuck out of here.
and or maybe they're the same. Are fight and flight the same? Fight or
I feel
flight?
like fight would be like sit down and hunker down and like whoop some ass and then take some names. And then flight is like, no, get me out of here. I don't want to. I'm a fighter. I'm like, no, I don't want to fight. You know,
I'm a
I'm a
flighter.
lover, not a fighter.
In any case, it is when you're breathing, like it's supposed to get you out of that state of mind, and into your calmer state of minds. But I think it takes a lot more work to get there, obviously, than just thinking about it and saying it. Because, you know, a lot of people talk about how hard it is to meditate. And it's really hard to get that practice because you can meditate for like 5 minutes, but then these other thoughts come in to your brain. Um, it's a fucking practice. It is. So
Yeah.
okay, so it is your fight or flight is your sympathetic nervous system, then your parasympathetic nervous system is the calm. So
Like
um
sleeping.
yeah, that's how I feel. Like the only time I feel like I'm calm. Um but yeah, so if you can get to that, if that shit works for you. I mean, for me, it wasn't like I didn't do that today. I wasn't like sit down and breathe. I was just like, I have to make myself sit here because I'm working. So I was just making myself get through the task and focus and
Yeah.
using whatever tools I had to help me like stay
Zone
on
in.
task. And
Yeah.
yeah, when what I really wanted to do was like, yeah, I wish I could go and get on the Peloton and concentrate on
Mm-hmm.
something else for an hour, but I just knew that wouldn't really help. Um, or at least not today, but sometimes it does.
Yeah.
But
But not
yeah,
in that moment for what you have and needed to get on your plate today, your
yeah.
task.
It gets yeah stressful. I get overwhelmed really quickly because I think about all the gazillion million things. And actually, it's interesting because today I started my day with Julia Arndt. She does a
Awesome.
free class or workshop kind of thing every Monday, and it's called Plan Your Week with Julia. And it's at 8 a.m.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I just keep missing it. I forget about it and whatever or I'm gone, whatever. By the time I realize, I'm like, oh crud, I missed it. And so I thought about it last night. It's like, I really want to check this out because that seems like a great way to start my week. Because like I said, even going to bed last night, I already knew like, here we go, Monday it turns on. So I thought it'd be great to start my day that way, to look at my week ahead and list some tasks out. And we did that, like, the top three things to focus on this week. And it was really great, but I also just know how hard it is for me to focus. I mean, I turned that computer on and I had my calendar out, but then I was doing other things. And then I was like, oh, but I got to do this or that. Like right now, I'll email this person while I'm thinking about it. I'm like, no,
Yes.
pay attention to the fucking thing that's going
Yes.
on. You're
Yes.
trying to like prepare for your week by planning it and but right now I'm just, yeah, starting to get to tasks that I'm thinking about in the moment. Um, so yeah, it was, the fact that I have to be in a mindset for that, I'm like, no, this should put me in the mindset. Like, I
Yeah,
gotta go in to focus. Is fuck, the focusing thing
that's
can
real.
be difficult for sure. But it was really great, and I want to hopefully do it again next week, and be a little more prepared of like, okay,
Yeah.
here's my coffee, turn off all
To,
notifications and
yeah.
don't touch anything literally on the computer. I don't need to. I just have to turn the Zoom on and then, write it out in my planner, so I'm not even tempted to switch tabs or check on anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll link that for anybody who might find that useful for them starting their Monday that way, especially if they're a task switcher or just have 500 things they need to do. And because we talked about how you actually underestimate the amount of time things will take you more
Yes,
often than not.
constantly.
It's not an overestimate, it's usually an underestimate. And I totally do that when I'm trying to make my schedule, because I will sit down on certain days and so like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do that, and that should only take me that long. And I'm like, oh no, it's like I almost need to give myself an extra hour for every task, just because something else will happen, right?
Yeah.
It's not always just a clean straight, like do this, like putting together an email. Then that might include editing a blog, finding
Yeah.
pictures, like all these things that you don't always account for. Then like, okay, yeah, triple the time than last week or whatever, because you just don't know what things come up. But I am 100% a person who underestimates the amount of time it will take me to do things.
Mm-hmm.
So
Same.
I need to get better at that and just like overshoot it, because
Add at least another half an hour.
yeah, at least another half an hour, because if
Start
you
with a half an hour.
and if you have the extra time, you get done early, like great. But when you are running to your time limit, then it just stresses you out, whether it's a real time limit or just one you set. Just that mentality, I feel like, can stress you out in a room. Like, oh my gosh, I should have been doing this by now, and I'm still working on that. But when you're like, oh, look, I finished that. Now I can move on to this or spend a little extra time here, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to start working on giving myself more time than I think I'll need.
Yes. Yeah. At least a half an hour.
Yeah. I even find that just going to the gym these
Yes.
days, because
Leaving the house in general.
yeah, yep, exactly. But like the time that it takes to get to the gym, and then when I get there, changing, get into my shoes, whatever, warming up, getting to the workout, trying to cool down, take a shower, get to back home or to work or whatever. I'm like, it really does take a lot of fucking time when you aren't just going to a 1 hour or 45-minute
Yeah.
class, or you're just in and out. So yeah, just 30 minutes if you can, add more
Mm-hmm.
if you
Yeah.
feel like you're always stressed for time. Um, yeah,
It's hard to gauge. A
absolutely.
really hard thing to gauge, but we're constantly selling our time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're constantly selling our time. It's such an insane humans in time.
So if you don't start this quarter, would you plan on starting next
That's the
or
thing. It's the first time they've ran this program, so I don't know what it would look like. I emailed my professor this morning that I got accepted, and then I also emailed her that question of like, if I didn't start this fall, what could my life look like?
Mhm.
But I have faith that I'll be able to get like a service industry job here in town and or X, Y, and Z. I have a few backup plans. I was just going to reach out to people and see what my life could look like as a full-time working person and going back to school. So yeah, that's something that I got to figure out because this job that I'm doing now ends in October. So that's also something else that I needed to do anyways. So yeah, life is just like raking all over the place, dude. But I'm
Yeah.
still trying all the avenues, and I think that it's important to do that because we're not dead yet.
Yeah.
And whatever like ideals society has on us as far as like owning a house and having a kid and making a marriage, you
Making,
know,
yeah, totally.
like that just isn't realistic anymore. Like the world's on fucking fire.
Yep.
And we're worried about marriages. Okay, cool. We're worried about fucking presidents of the
You,
United States of America.
I mean, you
No.
kind of have to worry about that, but I know what
Yes.
you
No, I
mean.
know. I know.
But it's, man, I don't know what was in the air last week or what. I don't know. I just feel like I got a lot asked last week if I was gonna have kids or get married. And it was from people I know. And I've talked about this before, it's like I don't get offended or anything, and I have no problem telling people like exactly how I feel. Like I don't put a no really on any of that right now, but I'm not saying a hard no, I'm not saying a hard yes. It's like I don't fucking know. Um, but I also I don't know, I kind of get tired of talking about it because I feel like I think about it in my head so much, especially about the kid thing, just because women and age and it's like a real thing that I feel like you have
Yes.
to put a decision
Decide by
on.
a
Yeah.
time. Yes.
And but I just I don't know. I just really hate being asked it because again, not offended and by the people who asked me, like I have no problem telling them, but I'm just like, man, I don't think I've ever asked anyone that. I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever asked any one of my friends like, are you going to get married? Are you going to have kids? Like I've probably talked to my girlfriends that I have now about the thought of no, I really don't think I've ever asked anyone if they have brought up the conversation of like talked about like, oh, what do you think? But and like I said, since I don't care sharing, I feel kind of bad saying this, but it's like I don't care what they want to do. If they want to have kids, great. If they don't, great. If they want to get married, great. If they don't, great. So that's why I just feel like I don't ever ask because like to me it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting when people ask me like why they like what prompted them to ask.
For
Like
real. It's mainly people's expectations for you,
mhm.
or like what they've been like what society has told us we're supposed to do.
And I know people are just genuinely like curious, right? Like, oh, you've been
Yeah.
together a while. Are you gonna get married? Like, sure, I guess because of our societal norms, it makes sense to ask, but it's like, I don't know, why does it matter? Like,
Yeah.
it's just interesting to I mean, I think about it with friends who are together, like, oh, I wonder if they'll ever get married. Like, maybe just think about it in their head because in my head, I'm planning, like, what their wedding's going to be like. Like, oh, am I going to go? Is it going to be fun?
Yeah.
Like, where is it? Like, oh, do I get to go home to Washington to go to like so and so's wedding and see all my friends? Like, can't wait kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, and if you're out there listening and you've asked me or anything, don't feel bad. Like, I don't want anyone to feel bad about it, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. It's just, it always kind of makes me stop for a second because I always wonder, like, why do you care? But I'll never say that to someone, and
Yeah.
I'm going to give them the answer of how I truly feel. But I just,
Yeah.
sometimes I don't know or don't feel like explaining it. So I just don't want to be asked.
Yeah. I hear that. Because I mean, honestly, who really knows what the future holds for any of us?
Yeah,
I don't fucking
exactly.
know.
Exactly. And that's the thing. I feel like I just don't know how I'm gonna feel, tomorrow or next week or next year
Yeah.
about fucking kids or this or that. And
Yes.
and
And
life, honestly,
there
like
are some people who for surely are like, that's a hell yes for me. That's an
yeah.
absolute yes in my life.
And you know what? And I envy that. Honestly, I
Yeah.
envy the people who do say that with
Uh,
that kind of
all certainty.
conviction.
Yes,
Yeah, like
exactly. Yeah.
yes,
So
I'm going to because I don't know. And so that's why it bothers me, I think more. It has nothing to do with the people asking me, but it's just my because of my own internal battle of not knowing and then how I feel about myself with not knowing
yeah.
and all this and that. I'm like, am I gonna have guilt if I decide no? Am I gonna have regret? Like it comes with a lot of feelings for me. So yeah, I think that they're kind of answered why I don't really like to be asked is because it's an unsettled question in myself and something I don't really want to confront or feel like I really
Yeah.
need to right now. So I just kind of want to ignore it.
I know when I ask other women who have already had children if they are choosing, if they feel like having another, it's out of genuine curiosity
Hmm.
because I'm the same way where I'm like, I don't know. Like,
Hmm.
I could totally see myself having kids at 40, but I could also totally not.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And that's
how?
the thing when you want to know, especially if you're in the same boat as someone, like you don't have kids in your similar age, or you just don't have kids and you don't know if you want them, like you want to talk to your friend, you want to know what they're thinking, you want to be able to have a conversation and get their perspective just to maybe give yourself a new or different perspective. Um, but it's just such a for the most part, I feel like
Convoluted.
such a old school kind of belief or question thing too that it's just people get comfortable and that's just the next thing you ask. Oh, you've been together a while, so you're gonna get married, you're gonna have kids, and
Yeah.
we're about to go. We've got a wedding to go to Andrew's family's cousin, and I just feel like whenever you do family weddings, especially like that's gonna get asked, and so I'm just like prepping mentally, I guess, to for
Um,
that to potentially be asked a bunch of times of like, so when are you guys getting married? When are you guys having kids? Like,
you could also tell people to fuck off kindly,
you know
right?
what I love is like my parents
Kindly
don't
fuck
ask
off.
me that at all. My mom just
Yes.
asks, are you ever gonna come back home?
Yeah.
And she's like, I mean, not that I want you to, like, but I do, I wish you were closer, but I'm not
Yeah.
saying, like she wants just me back or anything like that. Like, I get it. But yeah, they're not asking those questions, but that's probably
Because they
because they
know
want
you.
me to, and they also want me to be their like baby child for the
Hmm.
rest of their life. And if I
Yeah.
did say like yes to those, then my mom, I feel like would be like, oh my God, you're never, ever, ever coming home. So I think she likes to not know what those
Yeah.
decisions are because for her, there's hope that I'll come back sometime forever
Yeah.
and live in their basement. The 40-year-old virgin.
One could hope, right?
Yeah. But
Life just didn't pan out that way for you.
yeah, totally.
Sorry, Tammy.
But that actually kind of segues me then into the next little thing I wrote down because I was feeling
Ooh, we are
this
on point.
way of which I'm sure you can definitely relate to. One, because you and I have both been in the customer service industry, like our whole adult working lives, and
Hmm.
you're also a mom, but just feeling like a glorified babysitter and like anything you do. I feel like any job you can at points like you're like, okay, I just feel like I'm trying to track people down and get a fucking
Yeah.
answer from them
Yeah.
and check in with
I need
them.
answers. I have shit I need to get done. Like it's like pulling
Yeah,
teeth. It's like pulling people through quicksand.
it's exhausting. And I'm like, what career
Yeah.
out there do you not do that? I'm sure every single one there's times that it goes through that
Yeah.
moment. But yeah, I was just writing an email a little bit ago and I was like, wow, yeah, super annoying that I have to
Have
do
to
this
pull.
right now.
Yes. Per my last email.
Yeah. So circling back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I also know people have to do that to me. So I get it.
Yes.
But yeah, like I said, it's just made me think, yeah, what the fuck out there do you not feel that way once in a while?
I God, I have no idea. I think summer hire jobs. I kind of feel that way. I don't know what I'm doing and people don't expect too much out of
Right.
me. Or
Yeah.
maybe they do and then I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh
In
man.
some real low risk jobs that they
Yeah.
don't you literally can't fuck anything up. It's like
Yeah.
they don't have to babysit you much because they don't really care if you fuck up.
Yeah.
Or you don't have to babysit much because you don't care if you fuck up.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, those are the three main things that were just on the top of my mind that I wrote down as a little agenda here.
Nice.
Just a
Yeah.
Monday, man. But
Yeah. Just a Monday. It is so smoky up here in Washington. It's really sad to see.
yeah, I had a phone call with someone who was up there. She's in southern, I think central southern part, but
Of Washington.
yeah, and it was really smoky. And so is that from Canada or are
Yeah,
there fires in Washington too?
there's a handful in Washington, but it's primarily Canada.
It's Canada's been burning for a long time.
Yeah,
I'm
Canada's on fire.
actually curious about what it's like in Michigan because
Oh
I
yeah.
yeah, they're so close. And I know there was a bunch like all over the country on both sides and throughout
Yeah.
were burning. So I wonder if they're getting hit with smoke there. We have been so fucking lucky again this summer.
Yeah.
There's been a couple that have sparked up recently, but as far as I'm aware, nothing too major and nothing too major in our area for sure. But
I was gonna say I'd much rather have a rainy day than
absolutely,
smoked out.
yeah, that is so sad. And I hope
Also, California has needed rain for forever. Like
yeah,
California needs all the rain.
yeah, I wonder if the effects from Hurricane Hillary will make its way up north. I don't know if it's supposed to go that far north or if it was going to start turning inward now, because that's what happened with us. This is why we got this weather, I guess, is because Hurricane Hillary was going to be hitting like the coast of California down
Man
south.
alive. Mother Nature just doing her job.
Yep. Yeah. It's nutty out there for
Yeah.
sure.
And we're just here for the ride. We have no
Yeah.
other fucking choice, dude.
No, no other choice. And
And
except for
I've
some
been,
people, go ahead.
oh, you go. I was gonna say I've been thinking about it lately, and I've been trying not to be a toxic positivity. Have
Oh
you
yeah.
heard of the term?
Oh yeah.
I've been really trying not to do that because I feel like I'm just a positive person for the most part of my existence here on earth. And I'm not trying to be toxically positive, but we have no other choice but to be here. And
Hmm.
instead of just like putting your hands up and being like, well, we're all doomed, like just try to like be positive or just like try to do your efforts. Like people are going to be here, whether it is the end of the world, apocalypse, zombie takeover, whatever you fucking believe in is going to happen. Like we're just here
Hmm.
and let's just try our best. Okay, people, please. Like, please.
Yes. I think everything has its fine balance, right? And it's all relative, but because toxic positivity is definitely a thing, but I feel like I don't know, I'm with you where you're just like, okay, yeah, there's nothing we can do, but like
Fucking try.
it's gonna be better to be
Care a
positive
little.
about it or to try
Yeah.
where you can. I mean, there's a
Yes.
difference between having some positivity and trying where you can than to just pretending that nothing's happening.
A hundred
So
percent.
toxic positivity is like completely ignoring the bad and the
Yeah.
negative. But when you're recognizing that it's happening and trying to find some good in it or do some good about it, then I think that's just positivity. And I think you're good
Great.
at that.
Okay,
I don't
good.
think you're toxically positive. I think you recognize the situations.
Shits. I
Yeah.
recognize
And
all the shit
that's the
for the
first
most part.
step is recognizing the problem. And then
We're
you
on fire. Not funny. Maui was on fire. Like, man, what's
dude,
gonna happen?
yeah,
Like,
that's
what's gonna happen with when all the lumber's gone and we're like, we can't build houses? Like,
I don't know.
we're gonna have to resort to some cob shit, which is what
Well,
we should have been doing the whole fucking time.
I feel like aren't a lot of people doing like cement?
Ooh,
Like
yeah, you're right.
modern houses
Yeah,
are cement.
yeah.
Some of them. I don't know. The
It's
Cobb
just
House would be
wild.
great. You know, who the fuck? Marie, I think it's Marie France Roy she's a pro snowboarder who has a Cobb House.
What a
I
babe.
think she's
We should
on,
have her on here and talk to her about her cob house.
where is she? Is she in, I feel like she might be in the Vancouver Island area,
Ooh, let's
Canada,
have
but
her on. Also, I saw the Barbie movie last night. Have you seen
oh
it?
my God, no.
Oh, it's
I
so good.
want to so bad still, and I've talked
Yeah.
about it with, oh yeah, it's in Vancouver Island. Island. I've never said it that way. Um, but anyway, I want to see the Barbie movie. I've talked about it with a couple people. I've talked about it with Andrew's mom, and then I just really need to make a plan. Like, we're going to go see it this day, this time, because it's going to be out of theaters, I feel like, soon. It's already, oh my God. Yeah, it's already been a month. It came out like July 21st, I think.
Crazy.
I can't believe it's been that long, but I've heard great things about it. I will not wear pink because I don't
Yeah,
really
no.
own pink. But I do want to see it, and I'm glad that you thought it was good.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, Barbie has feelings in the movie.
Oh, can't
It's
wait.
very
Yeah,
important.
don't spoil it.
No, I won't. It was
Um,
good. It was really good, and they did it really, really well. Because I feel like for a while when they were like trying to do things, like bring movies back or like do whatever. What is that called when they remake a movie? A remake. Um, they were people were like Hollywood, whoever was doing the things was doing
mhm,
it so fucking terribly.
mhm.
And I think we're making a comeback, and it's good to see that
In
happen
theater.
in our lifetimes.
Petra. Yeah, I started to think about it the other day because I was like, oh man, still haven't seen it. And at this point, probably not. And I'll just have to wait till it comes out. But I haven't been to a theater in years. And so kind of
Yes.
wanted to have that experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind watching on my laptop, in the comfort of my own home with my
You
own
might want to
alcohol
wait
or
until
popcorn. But
it's smoky down in California to go. Just
yeah,
kidding.
yeah. I mean, this weekend would have been good just because it was rainy and cold. But um, see what's happening this weekend. Oh, the rodeo's in town.
Oh, fuck yeah, baby. You gonna go?
Yeah, hopefully. We
Yes.
haven't got a ticket yet or anything, but I think that it's fine. Because I didn't go last year. I haven't made it to the Reno rodeo, and I've got these boots, so I really want to wear
Bitch.
them.
Yes, bitch. One thing we need to talk about is Swell.
I know. Yes, that was on my head list, not in my
Yeah.
written down list for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I was gonna say we definitely have to mention that. I actually had a phone call with a gal today, about another podcaster who may be attending, so that was super cool. But so that is Swell is less than a month away now. So if you
That's
guys don't
insane.
remember or haven't listened, we had Tammy Joe, the founder of Outspring, on the podcast a couple of times, and she has created this event called Swell, bringing women together in the outdoors, connecting like women with the brands, women-owned brands. There's going to be activities. It's a weekend full of fun, networking, workshopping. So I'm really excited for that. September 15th through 17th, and it's going to be in Ogden, Utah. And we do have a link in our show notes for you to purchase tickets. It's not too late. And also, if you purchase through that link, it gives us a little kickback, and that will directly fund the podcast getting there for ourselves. Because that's been on our list to be able to do. So we've still got some stuff to figure out, I think, to be sure if both of us can get there. But
Yeah.
we're definitely both really trying to make it happen. And
Mhm.
so whatever you can do to support us, there's also a link to
Hey.
buy us a coffee, which will also be used to, fund the coffee that it takes to drive or fly to said event.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So there are a few ways to support us in the podcast and getting to this event and just supporting the podcast in general. And also, if you want to work out with me, I mean, that just supports me remotely
Yes.
too.
Yes. Yes.
Training
Yes.
programs anywhere you're at in the world, whatever fitness level you're at in the world, for whatever you need or want, with exceptions. We'll chat further about it, but
Yeah.
but yeah, all that just funds the shit that I want to do.
Yep.
So, and one of those is getting to swell with this
Yes.
podcast.
Yes. Yes. Well, how is Tammy Joe doing?
Tammy's good. Tammy's busy.
Good. Yeah.
So I talked to her.
Countdown. It's the final freaking
It is the
countdown to
final
the
countdown.
like this massive thing that she's doing, and it's her first one.
Yep.
What a
It's going to
queen.
be so cool to see it in fruition, see it come to life, see the women come together. I'm really excited. Yeah, I talked to her last week about some plans for it, trying to help her out with a couple things. And yeah, I'm just really excited. It's going to be, I just keep thinking it's already, because that week and the week before is going to be really busy for me.
Mhm.
Every week I'm like, oh my God, it's the last week of August. um, and it's coming, it's coming. But I don't feel I really got some ducks to get in a row, that's for
Dude,
sure.
you and me freaking both. Yeah, we should talk about that off air. Off
Yeah.
air.
100%. Sorry
Let's air it
everybody, we're
out off
pretty
air.
open with our lives, but sometimes we got to figure it out.
Not that open. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, figure some things out by ourselves first,
Yeah,
and
we
then we
gotta
get to share.
figure it out. Oh
Yeah.
man. Tight.
Um,
Well, I'm stoked. I hope that can happen for both of us because I still don't know. And it's less than a month away.
I know, I know.
It's 3 weeks away. Damn.
Wow.
What a trip, honey. Fall is
Uh,
coming.
yeah, it's felt like fall here. Like I said, just because the weather, but now it'll be sunny again and it will feel like summer again, but just flying the fuck
Yeah.
by. At times I'm ready for winter, but then until today when I was like, it's August and I am bundled up in a beanie and I've got long socks on and I turned the heater on.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, maybe I'm not ready for this yet. It was like nice yesterday putting a hat on and a sweatshirt and going for a cool walk in the morning. But then it wasn't that cool. It was hot. I was sweating my ass off and I only had the sweatshirt off. So I had to take it off and just walk in my sports bra the rest of the way up the hill, which is something I do not do. But luckily, I live pretty secluded. So I waited right till the last turn up our house. But oh my God, I was so sweaty. Um, but yeah, I'm not really over the full day coldness and layering. I still want to be wearing shorts and whatnot.
Yes. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Short time, summertime.
mhm. Um, well, yeah, I mean, I think that's all I have. I'm glad you brought up swell because I really wanted to talk about that, and I can't believe I didn't write it down. And what I did write down was video potting. Just because
Oh gosh.
I know I want to do it so bad. You know,
Yeah, I'm here for
it's
it
the
if I'm
trend, but it's like
prepared.
exactly. I want to try it for reuse of content, and it's just the trending thing, but I'm also like I don't watch podcasts,
Yeah.
especially when it's just people chatting and especially over Zoom. Like, God, I'd like to know how many podcasts these days are everyone in person.
True.
And even if they were, I mean, I don't know. I love you, but I don't think it'd be that much more interesting if we were talking together in the same
Yeah.
room
The
as it
energy
is.
would be different, I think.
Yeah, I just yeah, so maybe I don't know, but I also really love not giving a flying fuck about
Hey,
what I look
baby.
like or what my background is.
Same,
So
fucking same, dude. I was like,
so
ooh, I'm gonna need a minute to get my backdrop in
yeah,
order because
well
what
they
I got
have
going on right now ain't cute.
you can do
It's
the
not
blurred
cute.
backgrounds or the green screens, but I'm curious. We don't get a whole lot of feedback when we ask these questions, but because you're probably listening and driving or something, you're not just like on Instagram right now. But if you remember this particular conversation, let us know your feelings on video pods and like, is that something you're into and why? And is it for regular podcasts or like education ones where they're putting up like, here's my resources or whatever?
Yeah.
And speaking of questions, this one I 100% would like you all to answer. Like, fuck the video pod question if you had to choose. Financial questions. We talked about
Yeah.
our own struggles here just a little bit ago. Obviously, we talk about them often in other things, but we are going to have a guest on, Tanya Schultz, next week. She is a local to Tahoe. The Money Life Coach is her website. On Instagram, I think she's just Tanya Schultz. But anyway, she's going to be on next week. So you have a few days to ask us anything that you would like us to ask her. Not making any promises about what she can answer, how much free information we can get out of her, or, what her expertise is per se. But let us know anything you have so we can pass those on to her because we would love to provide you with the information that you want to hear because that is
Yeah.
why we're here.
Doing the things.
Yes. So, financial questions, let us know. DM us on the Tearing It Up podcast on Instagram or individually, if you have one or the other's emails, numbers, what the fuck ever it is. Ask us.
Yeah.
Because by the
Even
time
if
you
it's
hear
my
this, you
way.
have
One
4 days
4 days.
to get your questions in. We'll continue to post reminders and whatnot on social media so that we can get those answers. I just got the case of the burps, sorry. But yeah, so that's really exciting to have her on next week.
Yeah,
and then a couple of other guests coming up in the queue, not quite scheduled yet, so I'm going to hold out for letting anybody know, but a couple that I'm really, really, really fucking excited about. And I'm really excited about Tanya too, because again, I've just started asking people, not being afraid of them saying no. So I'm just like,
awesome.
okay. You know, caution to the wind, baby. Here we are.
Yeah. We won't show up looking like what we are looking like right now.
Oh, you look way better than I do. I look bald.
I was like doing my makeup as we were doing this.
I had my hair down and a hat on, and then earlier I was like, oh my God, I took a shower yesterday and my hair is all like fluffy. I don't want to, pat it down, flatten it out with a hat. So I put it in a bun and was cold still. So proceeded to put the hat back on over the bun. So it's sticking way up there. I mean, this is usually how I look in the winter. If only you were
blue, you would be a Smurf.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Tarin, I have a question for you. What the hell are you going to be for Halloween? A Smurf.
I have no idea. I kind of hate Halloween, so.
Oh shit, man.
Yeah, we don't really like
opposites. I love Halloween and I dislike Christmas.
Yeah, we're definitely opposites. I will dress up as an elf all of December, but Halloween, I just really don't like much about it at all.
Yeah. But, I think I kind of want to try to create some sort of Ursula costume from like the new Little Mermaid. She had like these really cool blue neon lights, and I kind of want to create a costume with blue neon light octopus thing.
Pickles.
Yeah.
Well, so you're much more creative when it comes to that stuff anyway. Now, if I got invited to a good friend's party, I would not be the Scrooge and not dress up.
Yes.
I could get into it, but usually it's like last minute. I am not one thinking about it ahead of time. I'm not like, I want to go do something. We kind of avoid it. Both of us, Andrew and I, kind of hate it. But so we both would get into it last minute if the vibe was there.
Yes.
But anyway, I think you got anything else?
No.
Okay. I think we'll wrap it up then. Just a little short, quick, because we both got shit to get back to on a Mondays. And next week, like I said, we'll be back with our guest Tanya Schultz. And we can't wait to talk all things finances, learn about her business, how she got to where she was, and just share her story and hopefully learn some stuff along the way. So we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode and would do us a huge favor, since we don't have any sponsors or anything like that, and would rate and review us on whatever platform it is you use, Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, whatever it is. And if you're listening and downloading just through the website, tearinituppodcast.com, leave comments. We'll definitely engage back with you. And on social media right now, we're just on Instagram. Tarin It Up Podcast is the handle. Like the post, share the post, comment on the post, whatever it is you got. Show us your love so we just stay relevant and show up in the rankings at all. So again, rate and review, please. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.